huge one in Baltimore on Sunday. Niners, Ravens. If you said you think this game is a Super Bowl preview, no one should be snickering at that. You got the team with the best record in the NFC versus the team with arguably the best player in the NFL.
I mean, that's every team want to chase the Super Bowl. Like that's why we playing the game. You know, not just I want to win this game, win one game, and go 1-15. That's not a goal. You know, everyone want to win the Super Bowl at the start of the season, but it just takes us a long time to get to it. You know, each and every week trying to get better and better and win games week in, week out. And we on the right track. There's a lot of teams on the right track right now, but we got the 49ers this week, and that's what we focus on.
When did you first think about winning the Super Bowl?
When I first got drafted to the Baltimore Ravens, I said it.
He's a running back when he has the ball. You know, with the other two guys, they can make a lot of plays with their legs and stuff, but eventually they're going to slide and things like that. This guy, he is a running back out there and a quarterback when he's throwing, but he can run hard. You got to bring him down. He can take the hits, and he also can deliver them.
The other side of the quarterback matchup in this one is Jimmy Garoppolo against the Ravens defense. Both the quarterback and the D for the Ravens have been hot since week 8. 5 interceptions for the Ravens, only 4 thrown by Jimmy Garoppolo since week 8, and that's 13 touchdowns on the plus side for the Niners quarterback. Let's bring in our Hall of Fame quarterback right now. Kurt Warner joins us, as he always does here on Wednesday's NFL Total Access. And Kurt, what type of success do you see Jimmy G having against the Baltimore D?
Well, I tell you what, Scott, I think a lot of it comes down to how they decide to play this game. When you're playing against a high-powered offense, a lot of times you panic a little bit and you go, okay, we've got to throw the ball to catch up. We got to try to make big plays and get away from what they've done all year. I think where Jimmy G has been so good all year is off of the play action. Run the football first, play action, attack the middle of the field, and I believe that's what they're going to have to do in this game. But it's so easy when you see the speed and explosiveness of what happens on the other side of the ball that you go, okay, we've got to get away from what we do. Don't do that in this game. And, one of the stats that wasn't on there for that Ravens defense as well is how opportunistic they are. Since week 8, they've got 5 defensive touchdowns. Jimmy G, at times, will put the ball in harm's way. He's got to be very careful with the football. Marcus Peters and company on the back end will turn those into touchdowns if he makes mistakes.
Ravens offense gets all kinds of attention, but the Ravens defense is top 5 in the league in giving up points. Should be a good strength-on-strength matchup. The Niners come into the game as the 1 seed in the NFC. You look at the NFC playoff picture, the Saints, Packers, and Cowboys are the other division leaders. The 2 wild card spots right now held by the Seahawks and the Vikings, and Seattle and Minnesota are head-to-head on Monday Night Football, which should be a good one from the Pacific Northwest. Do you see Kirk Cousins hanging touchdown for touchdown, throw for throw with Russell Wilson in this one?
Well, here's the interesting thing, Scott, is that when you look at this Seattle offense, they're not necessarily an explosive offense, an offense that goes and puts up 30 points every time out. What Russell Wilson does, and he's done it through his entire career, is we're going to keep the game close. The game's going to be a 1-possession game at the end, and then Russell's going to be Russell. That's where he is so special. Late in games, when you need one drive to get your team a field goal, a touchdown, to win a game, that's where Russell Wilson is so good. And so that, to me, is what I believe this game is going to come down to. I believe it's going to be a close game, and Kirk Cousins is going to have to keep up with Russell Wilson late in the game. He's going to have to make plays to keep his team ahead, or maybe make that final drive if he wants to beat Russell Wilson.
Potential playoff preview in that one. Kirk, hang around. We want to hear your top 5 from Week 12 later on NFL Total Access. Get you caught up on the latest headlines right now. Sounds like the Eagles could get 2 of their receivers back this week as they take on the Miami Dolphins. Alshon Jeffrey has missed 2 games with an ankle. Nelson Aguilar missed last week with a knee. Both of those players practiced today, but they were both limited in practice. We'll have updates in the days to come. Juju Smith-Schuster 1 step closer to returning to game action. The Steelers announced that Juju has cleared concussion protocol. However, he's still dealing with a knee injury that he suffered on the same play he got the concussion. Mike Tomlin says he has no update on Juju's knee. He missed last week's game against the Bengals. The Thanksgiving Day game's injury report right now. Matthew Stafford will not play. It'll be his third straight missed game with the hip and back injury. Leighton Vander Esch is out for the Dallas Cowboys. Questionable are Marshawn Lattimore and Julio Jones for the Saints and Falcons, respectively. They could go head-to-head if they're both able to play. Devontae Freeman will play for Atlanta. That's a big boost to the Falcons' offense.